Longyearbyen, which means Long Ear City in Norwegian, was named after an American, John Longyear, who started the Arctic Coal Company and set up a mining operation for around 500 people in 1906. Longyearbyen is in Spitsbergen, which is the largest and only populated island of the Svalbard archipelago. Svalbard is a group of islands which became a full part of the Kingdom of Norway with the Norwegian Svalbard Act of 1925. However, it was granted special status, which means that there is no visa requirement for entry into it. Hence, more than 50 nationalities are represented in its population of approximately 2,500 people, although 66% of it is Norwegian. The sun sets each year for the very last time on October 25, and it will not rise above the horizon again for 4 months. The sun officially returns on March 8. Dying and being buried in a coffin became illegal in 1950 when the locals realized that the permafrost was preventing the bodies from properly decomposing. And afraid of diseases spreading, they took the town's graveyard out of commission and outlawed death in Longyearbyen. Longyearbyen streets have no names. They simply go by numbers. Cats are not allowed in Longyearbyen since they pose a problem to its abundant Arctic bird populations. The barnacle goose is a small compact goose with a short stubby bill. The head is mostly white, with a black crown and a black line between the eye and the bill. The neck, throat, and breast are black, contrasting with a white face and grayish-white belly. The legs and bill are black. It grazes on vegetation such as roots, stems, leaves, and seeds. It nests in Greenland and Svalbard, but spends the winter in Scotland, northern England, and Ireland. The Svalbard Museum is housed in the University Center in Svalbard building. It displays artifacts from the history of Svalbard since its settlement and exhibits of local plants and animals. Its exhibitions describe the factors that support human activity in Svalbard, showing the close relationship between nature and human cultural history on the islands. Due to the threats of polar bears, anyone traveling outside the settlements must be equipped with suitable means of scaring off polar bears. However, carrying loaded firearms in the settlement area is forbidden. Firearms must be carried so that everyone can see that they are empty of ammunition. Firearms are not allowed in shops and public buildings. The once thriving mining operations have disappeared, replaced by hotels, museums, bars, cafes, a supermarket, and other establishments. The relics of former mines dot the surrounding hills as reminders of the town's industrial past. Longyearbyen's church is located slightly higher up the hillside, overlooking the town center. The foundations for the current Svalbard church were laid in 1956, and it was consecrated 2 years later. The wooden rectangular church can hold around 140 people. It is the only church on the archipelago, aside from the Russian Orthodox chapel in Barentsburg. Longyearbyen is situated in a valley on the shores of the idyllic Advent Fjord, surrounded by steep mountains and several glaciers. There are only around 40 kilometers of roads in Longyearbyen, which is divided into several suburbs, including the town center and Nightlife, the new town. Most of the hotels, restaurants, pubs, and shops are in the town center. Nightlife, which is located 2 kilometers south of town, consists of charming miners' barracks constructed after the war, as well as guest houses, a restaurant and gallery, not to mention beautiful views of the landmark mountain, Jorfjellet. The most northerly shopping trip in the world can be made down the main street of Longyearbyen. Here you will find many things you might not have expected to find only 1,100 kilometers from the North Pole. Most of the service functions are clustered together in line along the main street, with cafes, restaurants, shops, post office, bank, and the newly opened cultural center, all lying strategically close. Since it is a tax-free zone with no VAT or other taxes, it is usually a bit cheaper here. The selections in the shops are surprisingly large, probably owing to the relatively high purchasing power of a population who pay little tax and are well educated. The world's most northerly coffee bar serves espresso and quiche, just as on any big city boulevard. The piles of heavy outdoor clothing are, however, indications of the cold climate outside. Longyearbyen's restaurants and cafes offer a good selection of food, from the finest gourmet dining to simple pizzas and burgers. Anyone choosing to spend a few years of their life working in Longyearbyen is probably self-reliant and fearless. Long dark winter nights spur people to seek contact with one another, so nightlife is very much a fun and inclusive experience. There is no strict dress code. It is more important to turn up with plenty of good humor. The nightlife includes a number of bars, all equipped with a huge and impressive selection of expensive whiskeys, brandies, and other spirits. The locals are also highly knowledgeable and non-discriminating.